Hey viewers, greetings. In this yet another December tutorial, we're going to be doing another practical chapter of ICT. Like I promised that in December of 2025 and January of 2026, I'm going to be doing practical chapters of ICT, and I've already done file and folder management as the first practical chapter in the subject. It's already available on my YouTube channel. I've done it, I think, a few days ago. Those are 2 days. And today I'm going to embark on word processing 1 as another practical chapter of ICT. Yeah, this is the PDF I'm going to be using, the PDF that's going to be used throughout the video. The PDF covers, of course, word processing 1 chapter, and it's what I'm going to follow throughout the video. Now, whatever we see in this PDF, it is part of word processing 1 that is learned by S1 learners in the new lower secondary school curriculum. So all the numbers that are running from number 1 up to number 18, that is all provided as practical for word processing 1 for senior ones. As you see the heading, it is new lower secondary school curriculum ICT practical chapter 2. The chapter 1, that was file management, I've already done that and it's available on my channel. So if you really want to go through that chapter, it's already available. It's 1 hour and some 40 minutes, and it's very helpful to S1 students and S2 students. It can guide them to, of course, sit down, watch something, and then make individual notes in their books as theory. Now, same applies to this one. This one is also a practical chapter that after doing it, a learner should sit down somewhere in the computer lab with internet and, of course, follow the steps I'm going to show them while they make their own notes. So by the end of this video, a learner will, of course, have a lot of knowledge about word processing 1 as the practical chapter 2 I am doing in this month of December as we head to January 2026. So straight away, I'm going to begin with number 1, that is meaning of word processing and word processor. So in this chapter, in this chapter, new lower secondary school curriculum ICT chapter 2 practical chapter, learners are first taught the meaning of word processing and word processor, and it is what I want to begin with. Let me first try and open this with Firefox so that I can do some little formatting there as I explain. So here we are, like I was saying, that learners are first taught the meaning of word processing and word processor before you even continue with the practical side of it. So I'm going to just begin with the number 1 here. I'm going to begin with number 1, the meaning of word processing and word processor. Yeah. So if you have where you're writing and you're viewing this tutorial, so please write down somewhere before we kick off with the practical side. Now, word processing is just the act of doing these 5 tasks on the computer. Word processing is the act of creating, that is 1, editing, 2, formatting, 3, saving, 4, and printing electronic Word documents. Yeah, that is the meaning of word processing. It is the act of doing those 5 tasks I've talked about. Now, what of word processor? Word processor is a computer program that enables, of course, a computer user to do the 5 tasks I've already talked about: to create, yeah, edit, format, print, and save Word documents. So word processor, this one here, this one is just a computer program, yeah, and word processing is the act. So that's how the two are different. So that's the definition of the two as I head to number 2. So having known the meaning of word processing and word processing, I've already given you the definition. Then as we head to word processors, you already have the definition as well. Examples of word processors include Microsoft Word, any version you could have on your computer. If I click on the start button here to check out the version of word processor I have, then I type there Word. I have a version of 2024. So it depends on any version you have, like 2016, 2019, 2024, 2021, 2010, 2007, etc. etc. That's a version of word processor, and it's just Microsoft Word a year. Microsoft Word 2024, Microsoft Word 2021, Microsoft Word 2019. Those are all word processors. Other word processors include Open Office Writer. We also have Microsoft Office Word. We also have Google Documents, etc. etc. Those are all word processors. 2. Starting a word processor 2016 to 2024. Now, at least for you to be safe when you're using word processors, at least you should have those two versions, at least from 2016 up to 2024, so that you can follow closely all the steps I'm going to be doing on my computer right here. If you have an old version, let's say if you have 2007, 2010, it's better you upgrade at least to 2016 so that you can follow closely whatever I'll be doing in this video tutorial. Yeah, it is advisable for you to have a newer version of at least 10 years and below. That is how you can, of course, cope up with a lot of changes that have been made in these softwares that are provided to us to use. So I'm going to be using a version of I'm going to be using a version of 2024 in this tutorial, but also if you have 2021, 2019, 2016, you can follow closely. Almost the interface is just the same as 2024, which is the latest word processor around. So it's now time for making those notes. Having got the definitions and the word processors that are available, let us go to number 3, that is saving and closing a Word document. So before we save and close a Word document, let us start a Word document. So your computer is just like that, and you want to start a Word document on your computer. What you do is you look for the start button on either the keyboard or your screen. My start button is here. If you're using Windows 11, your start button is just there like mine. If you're using Windows 10, your start button is at the left corner, left bottom corner. So if you're using if you're using 10, your start button is on the left bottom corner, and if you're using 2011, your start button is right there, just like mine. So you click anywhere at the start button by using a mouse, of course, or you use a keyboard to hit that Windows key you see there, and then you type in the search bar Word. The moment you type Word, you just open it from here. The best match is right here. So you tap at it and then you tap at blank document. That is how you open a Word document. You could be asked how to open a Word document. Yeah. So if you've been following closely, it means you can also open a Word document on your computer and you know the steps that are followed. Like look for the start button, you click at it, of course, then you type Word, click at the best match, and then it will open. Click at blank document, and yeah, your word processor is going to be opened. Saving and closing a Word document. Having opened it, maybe document. So we've opened our Word document and we have typed something like, hey, this is a Word document, and I'm heading to number 3, that is saving and closing a Word document. So if you've been following closely with me, it means you now know how to open a Word document and you can write down your own notes about how you can open a Word document. The note of saving and closing. This is what we do. These are the steps we follow when saving and closing a Word document. Step 1, you locate the File tab. I mean, you locate File on your top left corner. Yeah, we're going to talk about those parts at the next step, but for now, we locate the file on the top left corner. For old versions, I think you could have a circle there instead of the word file, but for new versions, you have file. Simply click at it. If you have the circle there at the bottom, I mean at the top left corner, you click at that circle. You move along with us. Click at Save As, then click at Browse. After Browse, you look for the desktop location. If you're not seeing it, scroll this desktop, then give your file a name. The previous video I was doing, it was about file and folder management, and I talked about renaming your files and folders the right way. So even here, file name, give it a name. You can rename it lesson Word lesson 1. After following those steps closely, rename it Word lesson 1. I said you simply click at the file on the top left and then save as, then browse, then desktop, look for the desktop location, give it a name, lesson 1. Yeah, and then you can create your folder right here, because having a folder is very important. It is so crucial on a computer. So simply click at new folder. Yeah, and then I can rename it Mac. Create a folder from new folder, give it a name Mac, and then double tap at it and then click on save. Yeah, it's going to be saved in new folder, and if I close it from the X here and then I look for Mac, Mac is here. If I open Mac, it means my Word document is there and it is lesson 1. So if I can open it, yeah, there we are. That is my Word document, and that is at least step 3 step 2 up to step 3. As we go to number 4, that is having parts of a word processor, and I'm using the 2024 interface. So I want to talk about the parts of a word processor, and you can simply make some notes there if you're watching and if you're monitoring closely. The first part is the ribbon. The first and major part is the ribbon. The ribbon runs, it's on the top here, runs from file, it cuts to share down here, and then it goes back to clipboard, group, and then to file. Now that's the ribbon, and it's on top of your word processor. Now, Word has a lot of parts, so I want to just quickly go through those parts as I give you the use of those parts. So on the top here, where you see the word icon, it goes up to, is it this one here? This one is the customize quick access toolbar feature. So this top part from the word icon up to this, it's called a quick access toolbar. It can give you quick commands. Yeah, it's the quick access toolbar. So next up is the title bar. The title bar is found on the top of your document, and it's having the name you saved as your document. So it's having the saved name, and my title bar is on top here. Next up is the X maximize and minimize parts. They are found right there. They're just 3. I move on. Now the X closes, this one can reduce on the size, and then this one puts your word processor down right here. Yeah. Next up is the tab or the tabs. The tabs home, insert, draw, design. Mine, I think they are running up to help. Those are all called tabs, and each and every tab has its own, powers, its own parts. its own functions. For example, the home tab has various groups like clipboard, font, paragraph, styles, voice, editor, and add-ins. Those are just groups in the home tab. Even other tabs have groups like insert, pages, tables, illustrations, media links, etc. Draw has tabs: undo, drawing tools, stencils, edit, convert, etc. So each and every tab has groups, and the tab has its own features that can help you create nice looking electronic documents. Okay, as I head to the next part of word processor, it's called a cursor. Cursor, I'm just actually zooming in, I'm holding control and I'm scrolling on my mouse so that I can zoom in and out. Now a cursor is the blinking part. It is ready for text input. It's also part of a word processor. And of course the white page, if I can zoom in, the white page is just this one here. It's also part of the word processor. It's an important part there. So we type. We have scrolls that are found here on the right. We have a scroller on the right, scrolls from the top to the bottom, and we have a scroller on the left that scrolls from the left to the right. More of the parts of a word processor include we have the zoom control. It has zoom minus and zoom plus, zoom in and zoom out. Yeah, we have the views. The views are here: read mode, print layout, web layout. We have the the task bar that shows the tasks we are doing so far. That we have one page so far and we have typed 7 words. So those are some of the parts of a word processor. So feel free to make notes there about whatever I've been explaining, and then you come up with the parts of a word processor. So like I'm saying, I'm dealing with word processing 1, and it is a chapter in S1 ICT, and also it is the second practical chapter I'm doing in this month of December. Like I said, I'm doing practical chapters of ICT, and they're going to run from S1 up to S4. Each and every class has at least practical chapters there, and word processing 1 is concluding the practical chapters of ICT in Senior 1, and I want to just head to the practical chapters of ICT Senior 2 in the coming weeks or days. So those are the parts, or the major parts of word processor. As I head to number 5, creating text and check spelling and grammar errors. So I'm going to create the text in word processing. So to save time, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this file here that's having the people support. If you learn out there in the computer laboratory and you're watching my tutorial, you need this support file. Kindly ask your teacher to download it for you from my description, and then you use it to do whatever I'm going to do in this video tutorial. Your teacher can help you out there, but if you can do it, you can download the file from the description. You can do it, and then you save the time of typing the content that is here. So I'm going to just open it. I'm going to open it. This is the content, and I'm going to take it to the folder I am using. Like I said, if you're a student out there and you're trying to get this from the description and things are hard, things are not okay, kindly ask your teacher to download it for you from the description, and then use it as a support material in this case. So I can copy it, right click at it, copy, and then you paste in the folder we are using. I've done this in file and folder management, copy and paste. If you've watched that video, it means you can do this. If you've already got the file from my video description. So if you're finding challenges copying this, you can use any other text you may have on your computer so that you continue and move along with us. So I can open the support. Here we are. This is the support. This is the file I want to use, creating text and check spelling and check spelling and grammar errors. The moment you start typing in a word processor, what you mostly see are those red wavy lines or the green wavy lines. So the red wavy lines mean there's a problem with the spelling you have typed. The green wavy lines mean there's a problem with the grammar you have provided. So that's why at this number 5, we are creating text. We are creating text and checking spelling and grammar errors. So, having explained the red wavy lines that they mean wrong spelling and the green wavy lines that mean wrong grammar, this is how you correct it. Step 1 is you identify that wrong spelling like this one, right click at it and select the best match. It's going to be corrected. Even this one, right click at it and select the best match. So keep on doing that, right click at this, select the best match. You see that the red wavy lines are disappearing. Even the green wavy lines or the blue wavy lines, right click at it, select the right alternative. Keep on right clicking at the wrong spellings and select the right alternatives there so that you don't have anything like a red wavy line or a green wavy line. If you don't get the right alternative, it means you simply not right clicking at the wrong spelling. So having corrected the mistakes, we no longer have the red and green or blue wavy lines under the words. It means we have successfully corrected the spelling and grammar errors. Think of this. If you have a lot of red wavy lines and green wavy lines and you need to just correct them quickly, like 50 pages, 20 pages, what do? You spell check the entire document by following the steps below. Assuming you have a lot of text and you want to spell check the entire document quickly rather than doing what I've been doing, right clicking at the wrong word. So this is what you do to save time. Step 1, position your cursor in the document where there would be the beginning of some mistakes. So I'll position my cursor there. Step 2, that was step 1, click on the review ribbon tab. I've talked about tabs. This is the review tab in the ribbon. And then select spelling and grammar button. Yeah, in the review tab, select spelling and grammar button. And you're going to get it here. After doing that, step 3, the first spelling or grammatical error will be highlighted and a list of suggestions provided. Yeah, the learner should identify the correct suggestion. Now, after clicking at spelling and grammar under review, you're going to get, the wrong spellings around. And then maybe, actually mine is 100 because there's nothing like a wrong spelling. But if it is there, you're going to see it around. Click on you keep on selecting the wrong spelling, select the wrong spelling, give it a right spelling. Select the wrong spelling, give it a right spelling. Let me try to get some wrong spellings here. I see what happens. Like I said, review tab, go to spellings and grammar, yeah, and then you correct them. Like this one is deprived. You just click at change all so that it is corrected. Even this one is socialization, click at change all so that it is corrected, and then click OK so that your work is just fine. That is how you can spell check the entire document real quickly instead of right clicking at each and every word. It is important for you, the learner who's watching this tutorial, to make notes about the steps I'm following, spellings, spell checking the entire document, as I'm heading to number 6, that is editing and formatting. So it's important for you to watch, do while making some notes. 6. Editing and formatting. The difference. Editing and formatting. I'm heading to the difference. What is editing and what is formatting? So editing and formatting. Editing is simply correcting mistakes in a document. For editing, the entire word is replaced with another one. Editing means you, the user, you're replacing the entire word with another one. Yeah, like correcting a spelling or correcting grammar, what I've been doing. You replace a word with a new one. That is the meaning of editing. Now, what of formatting? Formatting simply means changing the appearance of a document, changing the way a document or a word appears in a Word document. That's the meaning of formatting. Also, some people could say um, formatting is changing the appearance or modifying the appearance. Take an example of changing the color of a word. You change its appearance, you change its color. Yeah, but the word remains there. You don't delete the entire word. You change its color or even its size, but the word is the same. What of formatting? Formatting means you remove the entire word and replace it with another one, like grammar mistake. You remove the entire wrong word and replace it with another one. That is what I could share with editing and formatting. Introduction to highlighting. It's where I'm heading. Introduction to highlighting. Now, what is highlighting? Back to my Word document I'm using. What is the meaning of highlighting? Highlighting is, if you could write somewhere the meaning of highlighting in word processing. So, highlighting simply means to draw special attention to text. You draw attention to text you're dealing with. You draw attention to what you're typing. Now, you have a lot of words here, and it may not be easy for you to identify a certain word, but rather, if you highlight it, it means you can easily identify it. You draw your attention to it. Yeah. So even here, I could draw my attention to this heading because I've highlighted it. You draw your attention to the heading because you've highlighted it. The question is, how do we highlight? There are two ways. You can use a keyboard and you can use a mouse. Let me start with the mouse. Follow closely here. Step 1, position your cursor. Position your cursor at the beginning of that word. It's what I've done. You position your cursor at the beginning of the word you want to highlight, like the beginning of this word, the people. It's like a heading to the text. Position your cursor at the beginning of that word. That is step 1. It's what I've done. Don't click anywhere, but just position your cursor at the beginning of that word. Step 2. Hold the left button of the mouse. I'm holding it, and then you move, covering that word. After covering the word you want, you release the left button. Make notes there. I've done that. That is a mouse. Assuming you want to highlight this human presence, position your cursor at the beginning of that word or even at the end of that word, anything you want. Hold left, move, covering the word that you want. After covering the word, you release the left button of the mouse. That is how you highlight by use of a mouse. What of a keyboard? Step 1. Click at the beginning of the word you want to highlight or at the end, anything you want. Click at the beginning of the word you want to highlight. Yeah. Step 2, hold shift. There are two shift buttons, but hold any you want. Hold shift, and then the keyboard has those arrow keys, one pointing up, one down, one left, and one right. So you hold the shift button and you keep on pressing that key that is pointing to your right on the keyboard, because you're highlighting to the right. Yeah. Or just click at the end of that word you want to highlight, hold the shift button, and use the opposite key that is pointing on your left, because you're highlighting to your left. This is why you pause a video, rewind, and then you see what I'm trying to do. So that is how we highlight a Word document, and that is number 6. Number 7, spell check the entire document. I've just done that. Number 8, locate specific text in a document. How do we locate specific text in a document? That can also be called find. How do we find a certain text in a document without using, the normal ways of maybe locating it with your eyes? We locate text in a Word document by using the Home tab. I explained tabs in the beginning. Click at the Home tab. Step 1. Step 2, at your computer you will see Find and Replace on your right. I think mine is under Editing. Click at Find. Type the word you want to find. I want to find the word human. I type it, human. So that is how we find words in a Word document easily. Home, click at the Home tab, look for Find and Replace on your right, or Editing, then it will be there. Find, click at Find. In the new dialog box that appears, type what you want to find, and you found the word already. Close it. Yeah, finding a word goes with replace. You can't just find a word anyway. If you want to just find a word, that is what you do. But if you want to find and then replace a word, this is what you do. Follow the same steps. Home, yeah, find and replace. You can now go to replace because you want to replace a word. Click at replace. Find what? Human. We've already done that. Replace with, replace it with people. Yeah, that is it with find and replace. Home, yeah, find and replace. Click at replace. Click at um, replace with. Type what you want to replace with. Click replace all, and then you cancel. Find and replace is going to be magically done. 9. Paragraph formatting. This is all taught in Senior 1. What I'm doing, I'm just summarizing the entire chapter of word processing for a learner, so that if a learner sits on my video of just 1 hour and a few minutes, it means they can summarize the entire topic of word processing 1 in ICT, and they can come up with their own notes rather than using chalkboard writing on chalkboard dictating notes, which could be, not applicable in a practical chapter like this one. It is better for a learner to sit on a video like this for just 1 hour and some minutes, and then, they summarize whatever we are doing, and that is the actual learning of this generation. I continue. Number 9 is paragraph formatting. So paragraph formatting, we want to look at bullets and numbers, sorting data, text alignment, and line and paragraph spacing. So I'm going to start with bullets and numbers. So the steps of putting bullets include the following. So we are going to put bullets as the first feature here, as the way of formatting a paragraph in word processing as part of word 1. So putting bullets, the steps are just here. Step 1 is, I can get the bottom of my work here, click at the last word, press enter, and type some some list. I can type something like, let me press enter again. I type um, a list like houses, motor, bikes. Yeah, then I can remove this spelling mistake, right click, select the right word, motorbikes. Then, assuming you have your list, highlight it. Yeah, after highlighting it, go to the home tab under the paragraph group. Yeah, that's why I listed it here as paragraph formatting. It is in the home tab under the paragraph group. Select any bullet you want here. Any bullet. I can select that bullet or ticks. That is how we put bullets. Now for the bullets to disappear, you may click at the last one, then you press enter. Another bullet may come. Simply delete that bullet by pressing backspace once and backspace 2 times, then the third time. That could make the bullet disappear. Or you could even press backspace just 2 times. Next up is sorting data. Sorting data. Yeah, if I want to sort data, let me create another list here. I can press enter again. I can create a list of names, press enter, and then Hamza. You create a list of some names to sort. I'm heading to sorting. I've created them. Highlight the names you're sorting. That's the importance of highlighting. Whenever you're formatting anything, changing anything's appearance, you should have the highlighting technique. Highlight under home in the paragraph group, select sorting. It's here A to Z arrow, click at it, and then select anything you want. You may want sort in ascending or descending. I can decide to sort in descending, click OK, and the names are going to be sorted in descending order. Steps of ascending are the same. Just for ascending, of course, you select ascending order as I'm heading to text alignment. Back to the Word document I'm using. How is text alignment done? How do we align text? What's the meaning of aligning? Just like the bullets, the bullets are small characters at the beginning of a word or a sentence. What of sorting? Sorting simply means organizing your text in alphabetical order, in ascending or descending order. Text alignment, it's just positioning your text in the center, left, right, or justify is what I'm doing. Steps include of text alignment, highlight what you want to align. For example, I want to align my title, highlight it, go to the home tab, select any alignment you may want. If you want center, it is here. If you want right, it is there. If you want left, it is there. But for now, let me go with center. Justify is also there. So you click anywhere so that the highlighting is gone as we head to the next part, that is line and paragraph spacing. Yeah, line and paragraph spacing is done by following, of course, some steps, and they include the following. Line and paragraph spacing, back to our work. We want to put line spacing at least at the first paragraph. Step one is highlight the paragraph. You want to give a line spacing, highlight it. Yeah, after highlighting it, go to the home tab under the same paragraph group, select line spacing. You can select any line spacing you may want. It runs from at least 1.15 because my work is normally in 1.0. I can put any line spacing I may want. I can go with 1.5 etc etc. Next up is borders and shading. For borders and shading, it's another formatting feature of word processing. Borders and shading. So how do we do that? We simply go back to our document we are using. We put some borders and shading. Borders are put from the design tab. See that each and every tab has its own features. So borders are put from the design tab. choose a page border, and then choose any kind of border you may want. For now, I want at least an art border, and then I select any art border I want. I want this one, it is a festive season, and then you can select any widget you may want, then whole document, and then click OK, and the borders are going to be applied to your work. What of shading? Shading is just the neighbor here. Page color, give your page a color that may not cover your text that much. That is it with borders and shading. Number 10. Number 11 is page layout in a document using the layout tab. So layout tab is also a very important tab in Word document. That is, we are at number 11, page layout in a document. So using the layout tab, it's what we are heading to. So if I click at the layout tab has a lot of commands like margins, orientation, size, column, etc, breaks. But in Word 1, learners are recommended to do the following features under the layout tab. 1. Those are margins. Learners can learn how to adjust margins from here. You can select any margin you may want, be it narrow, moderate, wide, etc. You can even decide to customize your margins by increasing the top or bottom, left, any margins you may want. You see whether it affects your work. Learners can also use orientation where a page is either portrait or landscape. Yeah. Learners can also do a page size where a page is Lego, letter small, A4, etc. Any page size can be selected. Learners can use columns by maybe highlighting a paragraph like this one, and then go under columns, go to more columns and give it maybe 2, a line between, and then OK. Yeah. And also, learners can learn how to use indents in word processing. Indents are right here, so you can decide to give a paragraph an indent. I can highlight this paragraph, and then I can give it any indent I want. If I can increase maybe it from here. The indent is that space between the margin and the first letter of a paragraph. As I head to the next part, that is that one has been page layout in a document. I can quickly give you some characteristics of quality information. The characteristics of quality information include: number 1, accuracy. Information should be accurate. Useful information must have no errors in order to serve its purpose. It should also be relevant. Information should be relevant. It should be useful information, and it should be applicable in the area where it is used. And also, information should focus on age. Useful information must be up to date, not using outdated information. And also, complete. Information must be complete. It should not be partial. For example, a weather forecast, it should be the entire day, not a weather forecast of half day. That information is not complete. Those are some of the characteristics of quality information I can give you. Next up is working with objects in a Word document, and I want to start with tables. I want to design a simple table so that you, the viewer, is able to design your table as well. So the table we are going to use is just a simple table that can help us be guided with introduction to tables. First of all, if we are drawing a table, now I'm having 2 pages, but if you want to create another page, click at the end of your work, go to insert, and then click at blank page. A new page will be created. So We're going to create a simple table first. A simple table can be created by going to the Insert tab and then choose Table and then choose Insert Table. Choose the columns you want. I want 2 columns. Columns are standing. And choose the rows you want. I want 4 rows. The rows are sleeping. So I click OK and my table is going to be created. I can create maybe some content in the table like objects. Maybe table presents tabular data. I'm using arrows to move through the table. Maybe here I put shapes. I type represents this. Here I type images, thousands, words. So tables can be edited in any way you may want, like shading them, highlight the table where you want to shade, highlight there, and then choose shade, pick any color you want. Borders, pick a border from here, pick it, yeah, and then you draw, cover, you point at a line and draw the border. Point at any line you want and draw the border. So tables can be changed like that. And also, I've talked about typing data into the table already, and our data is just there. These tables, if you want the pencil to disappear, press escape on the keyboard, click at the table again. You can choose any kind of style here for your table if you really want to. So this is a table as just part of working with objects in a Word document. As I head to images, how do we insert images in a Word document? You simply insert images in a Word document by clicking where you want your image to go. You click where you want your image to go, yeah, and then you look for the image. So if I'm putting an image in my Word document, I simply follow the steps, click where you want your image to go, yeah, then go to insert and then go to images or pictures. Select picture and then select online. If you have internet, you can choose an online image, and this device represents images on your computer. Mine is under desktop, and then yeah, I can choose it. It is under, I think, this, and it's here. I click insert and the image is going to be inserted, but the image can be resized. Go to the corner of the image like here, hold left and reduce. Go to the corner, maybe here you also hold left and reduce. Images can be changed, the color and other settings. Click at the image, picture format. There are a lot of formatting features there, colors, etc, etc. These are styles. Choose any you may want for your image. You can even wrap it, you can put it behind text, and when you move it around, it means it can go behind your text. Control Z, mistake made. You can move it behind your text like what I'm doing. Keep on pushing it and it goes behind your work. I can push it here. Yeah, you see that the work is visible and the image is also visible. So that is how we deal with image. I can maybe flip it, yeah, and then I can take it back to that. So that is an image, and that's how you can insert it. The steps are: you go to insert, then picture, you look for a picture from the device. If you have internet, use internet, or you can just go to the picture you want. Maybe it is here, right click at it, select copy, here, go back to your document, scroll, click where you want to put your image, right click and paste. Yeah, if you're making notes, pause a bit the video and write down just the steps of putting an image for the theory part. Click at the image and then reduce, go to the corners and resize. Keep on resizing. click at the image again, picture format, wrap text behind text. Make sure the image is at least behind your text. And like I said, images are a lot of various uh, formatting features. Choose any you may want for your image. That's how we put images in a Word document. Same applies to shapes. Shapes can be put in a Word document through following the steps below. Shapes are also under insert. Shapes are here. Choose a shape you want, like this, and you get that cross, of course. Draw it somewhere in your work, and then I'm just holding left while I'm drawing the shape. If I want to pick another one, I said insert shapes, and then any shape you want. Maybe I want a shape like um, like this one. Hold your left button after realizing that you have the cross. Hold left and move to a desired size. If you're at the size you want, you release left. That is how you put shapes in your Word document. You see that I'm trying to do almost everything that is found in Word 1. Yeah, I'm trying to do almost everything that is found in Word 1 because I want to cover all the recommended coverage for Word 1 in Senior 1 so that if a learner sits on this tutorial, it means they can study the entire chapter at least within 1 hour and a few minutes, provided they are following closely and making some individual notes for themselves. A note with a table. A table can be done in a way that headers are repeated or header rows are repeated. If you want to do that, simply highlight your first row of the table, go to table layout and click at repeat header rows. How is that important? It is important that if a table is lengthy, if it goes to a lot of pages, it means if your table overflows to other pages, your headings are going to just be repeated automatically. You don't need to type the heading objects and use again. They're going to be just repeated at their new page. For example, if I'm just writing something random that I push my table to the next page, you see what happens. The headings, objects, and use are just automatically created at my new page. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z to remove what I've been doing there. So important with tables. You can pick any simple table at your school or in the computer lab and design a table. You see whether you can do it on your own without the help of anyone, but just after following the video. Next up is veins, creating veins in word processing. How do you create Venn diagrams in word processing? We simply create Venn diagrams in word processing by following the steps below. Venn diagrams, it's just under objects and it is at number 13. So how do you create Venn diagrams in Word documents? I want to scroll to the bottom of my work here. Click anywhere at the bottom, press enter. Or at the bottom, I think here, press enter several times so that you push to a new page. If that one is hard for you, simply click here, go to insert, and then go to blank page. Avoid this mistake. Some of the learners continuously click at the extreme end of the page and they end up creating a footer section, which is wrong. So this is not right. Like I've said, click at the bottom of your work, go to insert, and then click at the blank page, and a new blank page is going to be created. So if I'm creating a Venn diagram, these are the steps I follow, and the first step is right here. So the steps of creating a Venn diagram include: we go back to insert, we pick shapes. Yeah, after picking shapes, We can pick this oval shape, we draw it like that. Okay, after drawing that shape, we make use of the Ctrl C, Ctrl V computer shortcut. So after drawing one circle at least, we simply use a Ctrl C and a Ctrl V shortcut. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And then I get another circle, I move it around, I point at it, and then I move it around. If I reach my destination, I release left. I repeat Ctrl V to get the third circle, move it around here. Yeah. After that, I simply click at this first shape. I go to shape fill, no fill. Click at the second shape, shape fill, no fill. Click at the third shape, shape fill, no fill. So then I just look for the numbers I can put in my Venn. Venns have some few numbers there, like I can go back to insert. You see how shapes are so important. Insert, draw a small shape here. Yeah. After drawing it, right click at it, select edit text, and then type a number like I want 7 there. After typing a 7, give it a black color, highlight it, go to home, give it a black color so that it doesn't disappear when you freeze the shape away. Highlight the 7 again, sorry, Ctrl Z, highlight the 7, the color is here, I can use a font color, give it a 7, click at the box, go to shape format, shape fill, no fill, shape outline, no outline. So you simply repeat the steps at the rest of the circles, then you come up with the numbers in the Venn diagram. So I'm going to put a 10 here, go back to insert shapes, draw it maybe here, right click at it, choose add text, 10, highlight it, go to home, black, and then freeze the shape away. Click at the shape format, shape fill, no fill, shape outline, no outline. Yeah, even here, anything, it's just the same procedure. Shapes, if you just get how this procedure moves, then you can put all the numbers you may want. Highlight, so the rest of the parts are just you draw a shape, right click at it, edit text, I put a 2 maybe, shape format, shape fill, no fill, shape out, sorry, Ctrl Z. I could first keep my number to a color black so that it doesn't disappear within the white. Shape, click at the shape format, shape fill, no fill, shape outline, no outline. So that is how we can draw all the numbers in a Venn. And if you want to move the entire Venn or to move select the circles, click at the circle you want to move and make use of the keyboard arrows. Click at the circle you want to move and make use of the keyboard arrows. Yeah, that's an example of a Venn. I can click at this circle, I hold Control, click at this circle also, I hold Control, and then this one I hold Control, and then I move the entire thing to sorry, Ctrl Z. Then I just release Control, then I move the circles to a desired location, maybe there. If you're moving it, be sure that you're not leaving the numbers behind. You see I'm leaving my numbers behind. Let me first undo this. I can click at this circle. I click, then I click at the circles, not forgetting the numbers. I can click at you see, I can click at this. Then anyway, seems I'm leaving my numbers behind. But if you move the circles and you're leaving your numbers behind, it's better for you to move the numbers as well, and then they can find the circles there, just like this one. I can decide to move it, and then I put it back in the circle. Even the 10, I can decide to move it by using that cross and move it back to the circle. Even the 2, click at it, use that cross and move it back to the circle. Yeah, and maybe I can draw another shape of a square that is covering this. Yeah, that is covering this. Then I go to shape format, shape fill, no fill, so that my shape has that square that is enclosing it. Using screenshots, number 14, using screenshots. Screenshots are also taught um, in Word 1. So how do we take a screenshot as another some other part of word processing 1 for S1? So screenshot is just an image taken by the computer and can be pasted anywhere in the document. So I'm going to decide to take a screenshot of my desktop. If I want to do that, I put everything down, yeah, and then I remain with only my desktop, and then I use a print screen key that comes right after F12. There is that F12 key. If you're using a desktop, if you're using a keyboard on a desktop, F12, there's that key on your right. It's having print screen. For keyboards that are having that numeric keypad, print screen is on top there. You press it once. For laptops, of course, also print screen comes after F12. So press it once, and a screenshot is going to be taken. For old versions, your screenshot is already taken and you're not having what I'm witnessing on my screen. For your case, just go to Word and then you paste it there. For other versions, like mine, highlight, just hold the left button covering the entire screen. Yeah, then after doing that, you can go back to Word and scroll. Let me first close this. You go to Word, scroll at the bottom of your page, click there, click at the bottom of your page until when you get the cursor. Yes, press enter continuously to take you to the next page. Yes, and then right click, select paste, and your desktop is going to be pasted in your Word document. Wow, an interesting feature there. For old versions, if you take a screenshot of your desktop, first go to desktop like that, take a screenshot, print screen, just go to Word at any page, right click, select paste, or select Ctrl V keyboard shortcut, and your screenshot is going to be taken. If you're making notes, please make notes concerning that. One of the last parts of word processing is symbols. How do you put symbols in a Word document? So how do you put symbols in Word? Word 1 for S1. I click at the bottom of my page, I press enter continuously, I go to the new page, I put symbols. We can put as many symbols as we want in Word, and the symbol is just a sign or mark with a specific meaning. Yeah, a symbol is a sign or mark with a specific meaning. And the steps of putting symbols include simply go to the insert tab, look for symbols. Symbols are right here, and then choose any symbol you want, like the copyright symbols there and other symbols just right here at symbols. If you click at any symbol you want, you're going to witness it at your screen. That is how you put symbols in a Word document. If you want to put more symbols in a Word document, let me press enter. Simply go back to the symbol part under insert. That is the symbols group. Symbols here. Go to more symbols. And then choose any symbol you want from the list. There are quite many. There are very many symbols. So look for the symbol you want and then you put it there. So I can choose a symbol, I can select the font of a symbol from here. If I'm putting a symbol, I can select a font from there. Under fonts, I can choose maybe a font of a body. Yeah, there are symbols there. And then there's a font of, there are other fonts like agency. The symbols can be changed if you want, to put a symbol, click at a symbol, select insert. You want to change the font, take it to the normal font back, choose a symbol. There are many symbols here, insert, and the symbol is going to be inserted there. And also select a subset of the font, select on the left. You can keep on, changing to various symbols. Now, here they are Arabic symbols. Insert, choose an Arabic symbol and put it there. That is how you put symbols in a Word document. Next up is word art as another part of Word 1, word art number 16. Word art. Word art is a style that you can apply to improve on the appearance of your text. Yeah, it's a style you can apply to improve on the appearance of your text. That is how important it is. So the following are the steps of putting word art, and they include these. Step 1, let me go back to my heading of the document. I started way back from here. This is my heading. Having looked at a lot of features in Word 1, this heading can't be looking like this anymore. I can decide to highlight it, yeah, and then I give it a color, that is 1. I can give it a size, a bigger one, that is 2. I can underline it. I can change the appearance of this. You see, to give it that, that look of a heading, that is better. Word art. If I'm giving anything word art, assuming I'm giving this adapted word art, I highlight it and then I look for word art under the insert tab. I look for word art. I think mine is it is right here. Click at it and choose any word art you want, and it's going to be applied to your text you've highlighted. Highlight, go to insert, choose word art, and put it there. Highlight anything you may want to have your word art. These ones are my shapes. I can decide to push them to the next page. Next up is headers and footers. Headers and footers. A header, the simple definition of a header, because if you're doing something practical in a Word document, you need its definition before you actually do it. So the header is a text that appears in the top margin of every page in a section or document, whereas a footer is a text that appears in the bottom margin of every page in a section or document. A header appears on the top and a footer appears at the bottom. How do we do that? Simply go to insert and then choose header and footer. Under header and footer tab, yeah, under header and footer group, choose header and then you choose the first one maybe. So the header is going to be created. Scroll to the top of your work and I can decide to type my header here. It's just that the borders are covering my header, but it's just I can type my header at, at YouTube. So that is how you put a header and footer in a Word document. I removed my border. Like I said, I can go back to design, then page borders, select 3D, and then choose a color, and then you can even increase the points like 2, and then click OK. It's going to be applied to your work while the headers and footers are still there. If you want to edit, if you want to change the headers and footers, double tap at your header, it will enable you type. Double tap at your footer, it will enable you type. And after doing that, you can close it from right there. And lastly, for now, at Word 1, a practical chapter. The second practical chapter I'm doing, as I'm heading to the third practical chapter. For today, I've been doing Word 1. If you're following along with me, kindly do whatever I've been doing while making the notes to have the theory side of Word 1 as a chapter of ICT. Printing. What's the meaning of printing? Printing is it simply means producing text or graphics on a paper or another medium by using a printing machine, of course. So how do we print in Word document? Like I said, this is a program that helps you create, edit, format, save, and print documents. Yeah, how do we print? Step 1 is go to File, select Print. After that, choose the printer. I could be currently using this printer, Image Runner, and then command a print by clicking OK. This is just a preview how your pages are going to look like when printing. I started with this. This is Image Runner. I was heading to this, then this, and this. And then I can command a print, and my work can be printed out of the printer. Those are the steps printing. There's an error there, I'll correct that. So having studied a lot of Word 1 of S1, if you're a learner out there and you've been following the entire video from the start to the end, it means you have successfully studied the chapter Word 1 of S1 and you're ready for the other practical chapters the other practical chapters in the coming classes of S2 and S3. So if you've got something here, it means you're ready for the next practical chapters in the classes that are ahead of you. Having got a lot of formatting features, a lot of knowledge, it means you can continuously change this work. You can highlight a word like this, give it a color, you can give it anything you may want, like this or anything, to make your work visually appealing. So you can head to the activity area, other activities in those ICT books that are in the library. There are activities there at the end of chapters. Pick an activity there and do something. You never know. You picked something at least from this video from the start to the finish. So that is it. That is what I wanted to share with you for today, and it has been a practical chapter 2 for ICT new lower secondary school curriculum. The file and folder management chapter is already there at my channel. Feel free to go there, watch it as well, and know or study something about file management. Same applies to Word. Watch this video from start to finish with your pen and a book seated somewhere in the library or in the computer lab with internet. As I'm heading to another video of course S2, the practical chapters of S1 are done. I'm heading to the practical chapters of S2, and S2 practical chapters are going to be done through presentation. S2 they study presentation and they study spreadsheet 1, and also information access and sharing as practical chapters there. Thank you for viewing this video. I am accepting whatever. It could be a comment, it could be a share, it could be a like. Could subscribe to my channel. Thank you a lot. Thank you for the feedback you provide, and thank you for your precious time you have given my tutorial here. I wish you a new year 2026 ahead, and I wish you a Merry Christmas, a good time, and bye bye.